me, Mario and the gang, you probably know my name.
What up guys, Soulflare2000 here, and today is Memorial Day. Memorial Day, of course, we all know is to honor all the people who have fallen in any war, to honor them. And you're probably looking at this right now saying, oh, it's Tuskegee Airman turned dream into reality. And yes, I know, I did a video on this, but I thought since it was Memorial Day, why not bring him up again? And this time, let's read an article on him that was just published not too long ago. It was like almost 4 months ago. And we read that. That's the same person from like last year. It was February 2019. I did a video on him. But this is way back. This is an update right here. Or at least a redo or whatever. So, without further ado, let's do this. So, like the title says, it's Tuskegee Airman turns dream into reality. So we're about to read this article. And I'm going to put it in the description too. Cadet Robert Ashby, Tuskegee Institute, Alabama, poses for a photo in 1945. On his way to report to Godman Army Field, Kentucky, Ashby was ordered to go to Japan as part of the American Occupational Force. His first 3 assignments were at Nagoya, Yokohama, and Taiko. But because of his color, he was accepted. Oh God. Finally, he was assigned to a black company at the Quartermaster Depot in Tokyo. Okay. So yeah, I've heard that he did go to Japan. That's what I've heard before I even read the article and everything. That's what I've been hearing. And yeah, like I said before, he's currently all the way in the west side of the U.S., Arizona, I believe. I don't know where, but I do want to visit him one day. But okay. But yeah, he's the only person in our family who's been to Japan. I had great uncles I also have great uncles who fought in wars too, who were like a part of a war too. My mom's side. I think one was in Germany. The other one was Korean. Was the Korean War? No, it was the Vietnam War. I think it was Korean War too, but I had a great cousin who died in the Vietnam War too. Blessing. I bless him. I miss him, and I know it's been a very long time, but still, kind of thinking about it, I think it was blown up in a Jeep in Vietnam, like in the early years of the Vietnam War. Yeah, my heart goes out to him and my grandpa who died recently. Yeah, but anyways, sometimes someone's life can take a profound and unexpected turn by being in the right place at the right time. Such a thing happened to Robert Ashby, retired lieutenant and Tuskegee Airman. What he was doing at age 17 planted the seeds for a life that would grow into the tree of success. And if you guys don't know who the Tuskegee Airmen are, I think they were a huge plane force. The Tuskegee Airmen, they're airmen in the name because a lot of them were on planes, and then they aided us helping us out in World War II. And they're really underrated, and they didn't really get too much credit. They didn't get as recognition back then as they are now. Obviously because of their color and everything. The racism and shit. Anyway, Ashby was born in Yemess, South Carolina in 1925, and at age 5, he and his family moved to Jersey City, New Jersey. In mid-1944, young Ashby not only delivered newspapers, he read them too. So when he was a kid, he delivered newspapers. He said he moved to Jersey City, so I'm guessing, because I have an aunt. My great aunt is his brother. It's his sister. And she lives in, oh crap, I know it's somewhere New Jersey, not Jersey City. I think that's where they moved there and then they kind of spread out there. But yeah, also Tuskegee is like a town. I think it was a town or city in Alabama. there, if I remember. But yeah, it was based up there. But let's continue. I'd never been in an airplane, he said. By delivering newspapers, I had the opportunity to read about black flyers, and it stirred my interest. At that time, there was little positive news concerning black Americans in mainstream newspapers, but there were black newspapers at the time that covered news about social happenings such as the black pilots, and my interest was born. Ashby enlisted shortly afterward rather than waiting to be drafted. He said that he volunteered so he could have the chance of being a flyer rather than waiting to be drafted, and ended up with a menial job, which at the time were the only jobs available for African Americans. He became an aviation inductee, which began a long road full of obstacles and unique challenges. However, he said, the more difficult the task, the more determined he became to succeed. A test was required, which Ashby passed with a good score. But he was told he would have to take the same test again after he arrived at Keesler Air Force Base, Mississippi. He passed it again. That's my boy. And went to Tuskegee Institute, Alabama, to start his cadet training. And there's this picture right here. Retired Lieutenant Colonel, I think it was Bob Ashby, became the first black pilot for Frontier Airlines in 1973. So what they're saying is he was the first black pilot, and first and only Tuskegee Airman to even fly for Frontier Airlines. And this was back in '73. I have that photo, same exact photo. All right, here we are. This is the same exact photo that's in here. I got that from a great aunt. I think it was his sister. It says here, Captain Robert Ashby, Frontier Airlines. Robert Ashby was the only Tuskegee Airman to become a pilot for scheduled commercial airlines. He flew with Frontier Airlines from 1973 until he retired in '86 as captain of a Boeing 737. Guys want to see here, it says that's his medal. Outstanding combat record, inspired revolutionary reform in the armed forces. And then this is my great aunt. Or just Tuskegee Airmen's, this brave Tuskegee Airmen's. It's amazing Tuskegee Airmen's sister. They're both in their 90s right now. Still feel good. Alright. So let's continue. He said his training followed military procedures. It was standard training, which taught the trainees how to follow orders. He graduated in 1945, but circumstances kept him from going overseas. There were 4 black squadrons in the European theater, which military leaders thought was enough even though a lot of bombers were being lost. Ashby said, one bomber had 10 to 12 personnel. The Air Corps took tremendous losses. Our squadrons provided fighter support for the bombers, which helped to decrease losses. Right here, from left, David Tolliver, founding member of the Archer Ragsdale, Arizona chapter of the Tuskegee Airmen, retired Lieutenant Colonel Asa Herring, Mr. Robert Ashby, and retired Technical Sergeant Rudolph Silas, the original Tuskegee Airman, saluted on March 24, 2016, during the laying of the wreath portion of the 3rd Annual Tuskegee Airman Commemoration Day on Luke Air Force Base. Technical Sergeant Louis Vega Jr. So to the third person to your right. So out of this person, if you look at the third person, that's him right there. Back in 2016. Alright. With all the other brave people. All the other brave and amazing people there. However, the cadet program closed in 46. Hey, so my grandma was born. Ashby received orders to report to Godman Army Airfield, Kentucky. But on his way to the field, he was ordered to go to Japan as part of the American Occupation Force. His first 3 assignments were at Nagoya, Yokohama, and Taiko, but because of his color, he wasn't accepted. Finally, he was assigned to a black company at Quartermaster Depot in Tokyo, and the worst part of this assignment, as he recalled it, was being taken off flying status. Oh boy. Yeah, like I said, he had to go to Japan as part of his mission. And he was the only person in our family to ever step foot in Japan. And I'm thinking hopefully soon I'll be able to go. I'm saving up for that trip. For that day, I'm supposed to go with a friend. But I won't tell you who, and maybe it's secret. You'll probably know sometime. We'll see. Anyways, we're getting off track, so let's get back here. The winds of change were blowing in the US, and Ashby's life was about to take a turn, which would return him to flying status and lead him to great success as an aviator, both in the military and civilian sectors. I was reassigned in 1949 to Lockburn Air Force Base, Ohio, flying the P-47, he said. A year earlier, President Truman enacted Executive Order 9981, integrating the military. He gave the services 1 year to comply, but the Air Force was the first to comply. The Black Air Force disbanded in 49. My career blossomed, and I was sent to bases throughout the United States and abroad. When the Korean War broke out, Ashby answered his country's call. He was assigned to the 3rd Bomber Wing, Kunsan Air Base. What's more, Ashby's military career afforded him the opportunity to fly numerous aircraft, including the PT-17, the AT-6, B-25, T-6, C-46, B-26, B-47, T-33, P-47, B-45, and the B-66. So I never even knew he took a part in the Korean War. Now that's something new I learned. Should we even look up all these planes? You know what? Screw it. We might as well. It was a biplane, served as a military trainer in the 1930s and 40s for the USAF, USF, and Royal Canadian Air Force. Then there was the AT-6, North American T-6 Texan. I think that's what it was. It's an American single-engine advanced trainer aircraft used to train pilots for the United States Army, Air Forces, United States Navy, and other. Yeah, he was a part of. He had that. The B-25, I think that's what it is now. North American B-25 Mitchell. It was introduced in 1941 and named in honor of Major General William Billy Mitchell, a pioneer of U.S. military aviation. Top speed is 272 mph. Damn. Let's see. There was the T-6. The Beechcraft T-6 Texan II. A single-engine turboprop aircraft built by the Raytheon Aircraft Company. A trainer aircraft based on the Pilatus PC-9, the T-6 has replaced the Air Force's Cessna T-37B tweet and the Navy's T-34C turbomentor. And its top speed was 364. Way fast. I don't know if this is the right one. I don't think so. It says the first flight was July 20. No, hold on. Maybe it was, I don't know. Oh no, right here, North American T-6 Texan, I think that's what it was. First flight was on April 1st of 1935. It was assigned for the SNJ-1. So C-46 is next. Yeah, it's gonna be the Curtiss C-46 Commando. 269 top speed, cruise speed's 173. Says it's a twin-engine transport aircraft derived from the Curtiss CW-20 pressurized high-altitude airliner design. Early press reports used the name Condor 3, but the commando name was used in early 42 in her company publicity. That's amazing. He'll produce between 40 and 45. And then there's the B-26. I think we just looked that up, did we? No. The Martin B-26 Marauder was an American twin-engine medium bomber that saw extensive service during World War II. It was built in two locations, Baltimore, Maryland, and Omaha, Nebraska, by the Glenn L. Martin Company. Oh, its top speed is 287. Okay. And B-47. That's the Boeing 47, or Boeing B-47 Stratojet. It's a retired American long-range, six-engined, turbojet-powered strategic bomber designed to fly at high subsonic speed and at high altitude to avoid enemy interceptor aircraft. It was primary mission of it was a nuclear bomb capable of striking targets within the Soviet Union. Top speed is 587. Holy crap. It's fast as fuck. And now the T-33. Lockheed T-33 Shooting Star is a subsonic American jet trainer. It was produced by Lockheed and made its first flight in 48. It was developed from the Lockheed P-80/F-80, starting as TP-80C, TF-80C in development, and designated T-33A. That's interesting. Top speed is 600, and its cruise speed is 455. Holy crap. Look at this. Then there's the P-47. The P-47 Thunderbolt. It was a World War II era fighter aircraft produced by the United States from 41 through 45. Its primary armament was 8 550 caliber machine guns. And in the fighter bomber ground attack role, it could carry 5-inch rockets or a bomb load of 2,500 pounds. Top speed was 433 and its weight is 10,000 fucking pounds. Holy shit. Not bad. So the B-45 we have here. That's the North American B-45 Tornado. It was an early American jet-powered bomber designed and manufactured by aircraft company North American Aviation. Its top speed was 570 and introduced April 22nd of 48. But the first flight was February 24th, 1947. And that's it right there. And last but not least, we have the B-66. And that is the Douglas B-66 destroyer. It's a light bomber that was designed and produced by the American aviation manufacturer Douglas Aircraft Company. The B-66 was developed for the USAF and is heavily based upon the USN A-3 Sky Warrior, a heavy carrier-based attack craft. And it retired in 75. It says top speed is 631. Holy crap. It's crazy. Wow. So those were the planes he went on. So anyways, he was involved in the Cold War, even the Cold War, and was assigned to bases in England, including Royal Air Force Sculthorpe and RAF Molesworth. I flew B-45s and B-66s, which were medium-range bombers to retaliate if the Russians started a nuclear war, he said. His last assignment was at Peace AFB, New Hampshire, where he spent time on alert. I would go to alert 3 weeks every month, Ashby said. General Curtis Lee May was the commander of the Strategic Air Command. The commanders were under the gun. If one did a good job, he would become part of a select group. I was promoted to major and lieutenant colonel while at Peace and retired in 1965. Retirement was only a step to Ashby's next career with United and Frontier Airlines. The prejudice of the day was an obstacle, but he overcame it just as he did in the military. He was hired in 1965 by the United Airlines, but not as a pilot. They saw that I was black, so I was hired as a ground flight operations instructor, he said. In 1972, United started to get Boeing 747s, so I was sent to Seattle for training. We wrote the program for this aircraft. Our team had 15 people. Ashby was furloughed from United in 1972, and in 73 made history by becoming the first black pilot for Frontier Airlines. He started as a second officer and graduated to captain, flying the Convair 580, Boeing 737, the MD-80. Let's quickly look them up. The Convair 580. So that was it right here. The Convair 580 can accommodate between 32 and 50 passengers in a comfortable and roomy cabin. The aircraft can also be configured as a full cargo freighter and is also capable of petroleum transport. Damn. So now there was a Boeing 737. I've heard. The first flight was 67. It was produced in 66, and as of April 2020, 10,577 of them were made. And it was a narrow body aircraft produced by Boeing Commercial Airplanes at its Renton factory in Washington. Developed to supplement the 727 on short and thin routes, the twin jet retains the 707 fuselage cross-section and nose with two underwing turbofans. All right. And another variant is a Boeing T-43. Here. And last but not least, there was the MD-80. McDonnell Douglas MD-80 is a series of single-aisle airliners developed by McDonnell Douglas from the earlier DC-9. Stretched, heavier, and with higher bypass Pratt & Whitney JT-8D 200 engines, the DC-9 Series 80 was launched in October 1977. Nice. Its cruise speed is 504. That's great. That's amazing. He pointed out that the Frontier also hired the first female pilot. Ooh. Ashby retired from Frontier in 86. He said that he was the only documented Tuskegee Airman who was hired by a major airline as a pilot, which is sad commentary, but he said the commercial airlines are doing a great job recently in hiring minorities. In all, Ashby reflected on the surprising and welcomed changes that took place in his lifetime. In my youth, the state of black and white relations would say the same. My parents taught us to adapt the conditions of the time. I never realized how much things would change for the better. We are here and capable of doing any job well. The military is one of the best equal opportunity organizations. That's the story. That's the latest. This was January 31st, 2020. So, I've learned a few things today. All the planes he piloted, and the fact that he was involved in the Korean War, and also the fact that he was even a part of the Cold War. I never knew that, which is interesting. It's pretty interesting. I learned a lot today. I learned lots today, and I hope you guys did too. So, again, happy Memorial Day to all you guys and to everyone, to all veterans that have fought in the war, and to every single person out there that's fought in a single war here. Thank you. And to my great uncle, thank you for helping us defend this country, for defending our country. And guys, with that, guys, I'll see you guys next time. I have this linked in the description, and happy Memorial Day.